everyone. Welcome back to the New Wave Media Podcast. I am your host, George Padilla, and I am here with my co-host, Alijah Lundgren.
What's up, George?
How's it going, buddy?
I'm living on cloud nine right now, actually.
Nice. I wonder why. Is there anything that
Well, as we discussed in our last episode, I recently switched to Panasonic Lumix.
Are you having a stroke over there?
No, I'm having a drink over there.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, things look a little different here.
I mean, you're right. You're not wrong. Also, I just want to say, there's a little bit of reverb, and I can hear it in my headphones. So, it is what it is.
Let's see how it sounds.
There's a reason for that.
There is a reason. We're in a very, very mostly empty room right now. There's no carpet. There's no foam. There's nothing in here to dampen any kind of sound or any kind of echo. But it's fine because you know what? We've got a lot to celebrate right now.
So let's go from the very beginning, from the very last episode that we put out. We talked about hey, this week coming up, I'm going to sign a lease and we're going to get a studio. That is what was going to happen.
That shit happened.
That very same day, if not, I think the next day, there we were getting a studio, getting keys, and here we are. Since then, we've been trying to build out. Actually, we're not even building out yet.
No, we're just moving in.
We're moving in. We're moving in all the lights.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
Let's back up.
Back up.
We got the keys on Friday. Friday, we spent a lot of our time standing in this room, looking around, and trying to make sense of it all. It happened so fast, and neither one of us expected to be here before the weekend.
Not at all.
I mean, for one, we weren't technically supposed to be here until the 1st, which was Saturday.
Correct.
But they were, gracious. Obviously, our leasing guy didn't want to work on Saturday, so he let us in on Friday. God bless him. But we spent the evening Friday hanging out here. Nothing in this room.
So actually, originally, I remember we talked about, it was hey, when are we supposed to get the keys? And then I had told you, hey, I think July 15th, or actually the 17th, which is on a Monday, is the day that we're supposed to get keys.
Right.
Because a lot of the funding, all of the paperwork, the lease signing, it should take that long.
Yeah. It's all gonna come together by the 15th is what we thought.
And it didn't. Here we are the very next day from that, and things happened way too fast.
Well, not too fast, but just way faster than expected. Right?
Way faster than expected, you're right. Yeah, because, it's been a couple of days, but since doing this episode, I've been back from vacation literally
7 days.
7 days.
7 days today.
Today I came back last week from vacation at night.
And it doesn't even feel real that's true.
I feel like it's been 3 weeks since I've been back.
Seriously.
Just
it
because
feels like 6 months.
Yeah.
So the things that have happened, signing the lease, getting the keys, spending a day in here just going, what the fuck, we're here. Holy shit, we're here. And then Saturday we shot a whole wedding.
Oh, yeah, that's
Saturday
right.
we didn't even get to be here. We just shot a wedding.
So first of all, shout out to that wedding. We had one of the best weddings in a while.
Absolutely, without question, the best wedding we've ever shot together.
Yes. Things were planned. Things went so smooth to the point where we had breaks more than normal.
We got to kick it for a while.
And that's the thing about that is the weddings that are planned, they're just planned so well, and things go so smooth.
And we talked a little bit about this. Man, we cannot do a podcast without talking about a wedding, bro.
It's okay.
Damn. But anyway, we talked a little bit about this, and one of the things that really made this wedding unique from a lot of the other ones that we've both shot individually and together is that they had every really time-consuming part of a wedding day, from the getting ready photos to the first look to the family photos to the bridal party photos. All of those things were done before the guests even arrived.
Yeah, and that's one of the hardest things about being a photographer is there's all these little things going on.
George, get your foot off of the mic stand, bro.
So I need somewhere to rest my foot. There we go. So there's a lot of things planned in a wedding. And when you take care of, or when you put a time slot, there was like 3 hours for all of this, maybe more.
So much time.
And we got everything done. And then now they're married. Now they're going to go to the cocktail hour. And from there, it was just like,
Candids. It was literally Candids for like a third of the day. And then it like basically we shot everything all of the procedural shit, like all of the like family photos, all the things that people are going to want to print, whatever, like the not super artistic photos, but also some of the photos, like we did the bridal formals even before all of this, before the guests even show up. Right. And then once the guests show up, we do the ceremony, which is awesome. We got to do you can talk about this in a second. We got to do kind of a unique take on a ceremony photo, which was kind of cool. We get through the ceremony, we do the document signing photos, and then it's cocktail hour, and we're just chilling. Like, I mean, we were taking candids of cocktail hour. We shot details before the ceremony.
Yeah.
And so we went out, we did some candids in cocktail hour, and about half of cocktail hour, we got to spend enjoying cocktail hour because there's only so much you can do during that time, right? And then the couple comes out, they get formally introduced, they do their first dance. Or no, we do dinner immediately.
Oh yeah, dinner, exactly.
We eat dinner real quick, but that was another like 30 minutes that we got to just kind of not totally relax, but like we ate and we went and took a couple pictures and then we got to relax a little bit. Then they do their dances. Dancing was crazy. Like, I mean, it was, so the first dance, the father-daughter dance, those things were awesome. Took up, the regular amount of time, but like kind of a cool, unique experience through that.
Yeah.
And then once the dancing was over, it was kind of like, all right, we'll shoot candids. We did a little bit of table service, right? We went table to table and took pictures of the couple with their friends and people that they were visiting.
Yes, exactly.
But there was a lot of times we got to just kind of sit in between that because there's only so much we could do. So, and then we did the golden hour photos. After that.
Before we get there, I want to touch a little bit about the unique shot that I got.
Yeah, let's talk about the ceremony.
So the groom was really, really like, there was one photo that he really, out of everything, there was the one thing he wanted. And what he wanted was, usually we go for the first kiss and, well, not we, but the bride and groom go for the first kiss.
We don't usually go for the first kiss.
And so they go for the first kiss. You may now kiss your bride. And then they kiss, and we usually get the shot from where the crowd is standing.
Right.
But he wanted me to go where the officiant was.
Yeah.
And get a photo of them facing the crowd, or kissing, but me facing the crowd.
Yeah, kissing with the crowd in the background.
And the cool thing about having two photographers is like, I got that angle. Yeah. I got the photo that they wanted, but you also got the traditional, normal,
straight down the
aisle shot.
Yeah, which is, you shoot that shot in every single wedding.
Exactly. Right?
And it was cool to be able to do both of those things. And then what did you do immediately after that shot?
Oh, man. So I know we're really bad at this. I know like last time we're going to put photos of the 51-2.
Oh, yeah. By the way, sorry about that. The last episode, we were like, talking about all these photos that I did at this last wedding that I did, and we're going to put them up on the screen.
We were so excited to just put it out there that we completely forgot.
Exactly. It had been so long since we'd edited something, and we talked for another hour after that. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
So I'm not going to promise you anything, but there's GoPro footage of me taking the photo that I'm talking about now. And then immediately after that, I ran to the back.
Yeah.
Well, technically it's
literally
the back.
Ran from the front, from behind the couple, all the way down past 200 guests to the back of the aisle to get the processional where they're coming out. Or the recessional. I can never remember.
Yeah. So you were shooting with the 70 to 200.
Yes.
You were getting more of the tighter shots, and then I got the wider shot.
Right.
So it worked out great. But anyways, before we go on this wedding thing like we always do, I want to go back to the studio.
Oh yeah, we just,
because that's where we're at.
We derailed a little bit.
There's
Who cares about the wedding? We shot a wedding. It was awesome. We had a really great time. You might see some pictures. That's the end. Let's talk about the studio.
So the studio. Here we are on Monday.
It is okay. This is kind of cool, right? Yesterday, Sunday, We moved your whole, basically all of the things that we use at your house.
Correct.
Moved here. We also found a crazy deal on a sit-to-stand desk for me. Went and picked that up. I brought in one of my computers. I brought in my laptop. I brought in we both have all of our camera equipment, all of our computers, all of the things that we need to do our job is in this building right now.
Yeah.
We did that Sunday. Monday, today, it's our first day on the job. It's our first day. We're trying to be a little bit disciplined here. We have this space. We're paying for this space. And so it only makes sense. This should be our office, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We have office hours now. And so today was the first day of office hours, and George was an hour and 15 minutes late.
I had a good reason, though.
He did have a good reason.
But I mean, if we're pulling hairs or like...
I'm always late, so...
This is my first time being late.
It's
professionally.
It's not his
in
first
a professional... all right, anyways.
Anyway.
So the point is, like, one of the fascinating things about today alone was, like, there's a lot of stuff we need to get for the studio. So a lot of today was just shopping.
So much shopping.
There was just kind of inspiration, getting things in order.
Thrifting.
And it's like...
Furniture shopping.
We were at these thrift shops, and then you were like, hey, isn't it kind of cool that we're literally just like shopping?
We're on the clock.
We're on the clock.
We're on the clock, and we're just walking through thrift stores. And looking for cool stuff.
Buying things. And it's like...
We hardly bought anything.
I know, but we're not buying things just to buy things. Like, there's a plan for everything.
Yeah, we have we have an extensive list of things that we need. We have a budget, an amount allocated for all of these things. We're trying to see where we can flex here to put a little bit more here. But we, the room we're sitting in right now is, again... very empty. I mean, there's 2 cameras, there's a couple lights.
I mean, I would say like we're only 1% done because the 1% is just moving in.
Yeah.
Everything else is like we have a lot of build out to do.
We have a lot of physical build out to do.
Correct.
We also have a lot of equipment to acquire.
Correct.
We have furniture that we need to acquire. We have materials that we need to acquire. I think that we've gotten some like priority things done today in particular.
Correct.
You may notice the accent lighting behind me and behind George. That was part of what we took care of today. We have some of the equipment that we're going to be providing to our renters was purchased today.
I also don't want to, or actually, I also want to say like this stuff that we're getting, it may seem like we're doing it for the podcast, but it's not for the podcast.
No, it's all calculated and it's all specifically for the studio. It is for our clients.
It's for, again,
and also for the podcast.
I mean, it works both ways, but most of it is, again, like I've been saying, is photo and video friendly. So like a lot of continuous lighting is coming in here. There's already pro photo lights that we're ordering.
Yep.
And then it's like...
what we met with...
Actually, shout out to Pro Photo Supply because we met with them
twice today.
Twice today. We put a list together. There's a lot of things that we bought. Actually, let me scratch that. There's not a lot of things that we bought, but there's some things that we bought that they had in stock.
Yeah, we bought pretty much everything we could today.
And then they're going to create this special list for us that they're going to be, hey, this is when it gets here.
Right.
And so on and so forth.
So we're going to have, professional strobes, pro photo strobes in our studio to be part of the rentals, right?
Yeah.
And those are not things that generally are stocked regularly. So we have an order in for those.
The big ticket items were the ones for sure, like the aperture, I forgot what number it was, but
300?
No, it wasn't the 300.
600D. 600. Yeah, the 600D, because all they carried was the Pro, which is like $800 more, and we don't need that.
We don't need that for this space, yeah. Right. So a lot of the big ticket items they just didn't have.
Right, and which makes sense. I mean, these are items that we're talking about, these are items that most people don't go to a camera shop to buy, right? And so they just order them when they're needed by usually larger studios, larger companies that have studios, that kind of thing, bring these things. They were saying that the last time somebody bought Pro Photo strobes, it was Adidas buying them for their photo studio. So
correct, yeah.
They don't stock the stuff, and that's cool. It shouldn't be too long before we have them. We don't need them today.
We don't need them today. We still have, I'm not going to say what we're building out. I want
yes,
everybody to kind of come to it as a surprise, but also like when you're here, when we do a soft opening, because I do want to do a soft opening with limited amount of people, because you can't just fit everybody in here.
Right. I mean, our soft opening will be an invitation only kind of thing, and it'll be really for the creatives, you know, the photographers, the makeup artists, and the models that we work with directly and have a good relationship with already. However, if you are watching this and if coming to that soft opening is something you're interested in, feel free to reach out.
There's definitely going to be room for more, but like we're trying to prioritize right now, kind of like the circle, the community before we go public.
Right. And part of that is, it's not that we want to keep it exclusive by any means. It's more so our soft opening, kind of the idea behind it is to bring in people that we know, that we can provide them a space to do some creative work, to create content to help us market, right?
Correct.
Because the biggest hurdle that we're going to have in this whole experience is to bring in clientele and to find a way to market this studio and set it apart from the rest. And so having content that's created by content creators other than the two of us will help us kind of like diversify and show the flexibility of the space and kind of what can be accomplished here.
Exactly. And I think for those of you that are listening and are interested in this studio space is there's a lot to come. Again, I don't want to mention everything we're doing until it gets announced, but just know that like one of the pieces is going to be a walkthrough, like a little video walkthrough of like what you could expect here, what we offer, and kind of like what will benefit you in, I mean, many different ways.
Right.
We've got a really pretty good plan here.
We have, without going into any detail whatsoever, we have a plan for every single corner of this room. We have a plan for almost every single square foot of this space that we have is meticulously planned and intentional. There's a lot of things that we have to do between now and the time that we are open to the public. And this space, this room that we're in, this empty space is going to become something very, very different from what it is right now. And we're super excited for it. We are so excited for it.
Man, I can't even wait until the website's up. Like the website alone is going to be like...
It's in the works.
Like...
One of the cool things, one of the things that's been kind of a holdup on the website has been we didn't have the space. We didn't want to put together a website that had just stock photos of a natural light studio, right?
Exactly.
Like we want a website that shows an idea of the actual space that we're in.
And that's actually one of the reasons why we're doing the soft opening is like we want to be able to use the photos with real world scenarios here in this studio and put them up on the website so people know what they're getting into. Because
there's so much flexibility here, right? Like so many studios you go to are either strobe photography or natural light photography, are either still photography or video photography or videography.
Yeah.
This space is going to be flexible enough that strobe photographers, natural light photographers, and videographers can all benefit from working here. And that is our goal, is to make this the most inclusive, creatively inclusive space that we possibly can. And so every plan that we have for this room plays to that intention, right? Is to make sure that everybody that wants to create here has an opportunity to create here and can do something that resonates with them.
Yeah, and I really do see like, I mean, before we got the studio space, there was a lot of like, man, this is what's going to be in the future. And like, this is the future, like from when we were talking, right? And now I see a lot of like, one, I can't wait till people come in here and just like create. I love sharing. I love like seeing people create, and I love learning from others.
Right.
And then also like, what can this space do to help others grow?
Yeah.
Because
that's a huge part
like,
of
for
this.
example, for me, I've always been doing like outdoor natural light photo shoots. And it's like, I'm scared of strobes. I'm scared to add off-camera flash on location.
Right.
So like
you're only comfortable really in a studio that's built for strobe photography specifically.
Yeah.
So even this room, even this space that we have is going to be a little bit of a switch for you, right? It's going to be something you're not really used to. This is the first thing we've done in this studio so far. This is the first thing that we've set up, the first thing we've recorded, the first thing we've shot, other than pictures of the room itself, right?
Yeah.
So getting into the nitty gritty, as you like to say, like getting into, once we have strobes and once we have modifiers and once we have some of this equipment that we're looking for, like getting into what we can accomplish here is really an exciting part of this too.
Exactly. And there's opportunity to use both natural and off-camera flash here in this space.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that for me is going to be new.
Yeah.
Because I can go outside and use the strobe, and I've done that in the past, but it's always scared me. And like one here, I feel like it's more controlled, but the fact that it's like a mix of the two, I feel like me alone, I will learn so much, not only from just being here, but from others that come to the studio. And like, we get to first-handedly see how they create and what they do.
Oh yeah, we're going to learn. That's one of the most exciting parts of this is we're going to learn so much from everyone that uses this space and also from just using this space, right? Like, there's a lot of that I'm not used to either. Like I've used a natural light studio before and I've included off-camera flash in that shot or in those shoots, but that wasn't, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I've done that for 2 hours at a time. Like we live here. We can do whatever we want here. We have our first shoot here with, you guessed it, Miranda on Thursday.
Shout out to Miranda.
Shout out to Miranda. And I'm so stoked for that. Like I'm so stoked to actually do something creative here.
I think Miranda is going to be one of the very first people to actually see this studio, other than just you and I and like the people in our close circles.
Outside of our friends and family, Miranda will be the first creative that comes into this room. And it'll be cool to see what she thinks.
I think she'll be able to see, she will be able to see the bare bones.
Yeah, she's going to see it before anything has been done.
Leading up to when we have other plans in here, including,
Don't even say it. Nope.
Okay.
Nothing.
Including that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That.
So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Me too, man. I'm
excited.
There's so much to be excited about.
And not only am I excited for creating in here, but like I've never done this in my life.
Yeah. A brick and mortar business.
It had a brick and mortar business, but like I'm having and I'm thriving more off of the creativity than like the business owner side of it.
Yeah.
And it works kind of both ways. Like I have to know what I'm doing.
Sure.
But I think I'm enjoying more the creative side, which is why I'm able to do this and bring anyone and everybody along. Any creative that wants to come and also,
be a part of it, right?
Be a part of it.
It's been interesting a little bit the last couple of days when we've been doing some of this like busy work, right?
Yeah.
Like yesterday was a whole lot of errands. We ran to IKEA. We ran to, what else did we do? We went to Profoto,
IKEA. We went and got, we were trying to get these materials for this studio, but like people were bailing out on us and we're like, it's cool. Like we'll go this route.
Yeah. Just people not being responsive and not being on top of it. And that's
not
okay.
bailing. I should say not being responsive.
Nobody is as excited about this as we are, right?
Exactly,
so we have to be able to like give those people the benefit of the doubt.
And I think it's more so that like we're impatient.
It's not even impatience. It's just we're excited and we want to make moves, right? Realistically, the sooner we can get some of this shit done, the sooner we can bring people in here. It's not a matter of impatience. It's a matter of like urgency. We just want to get it done.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but again, like we can't expect anyone to have that same sense of urgency that we have because this is our business, not theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
one thing I'm excited for is I'm really glad this is kind of happening in the middle of wedding season. Here's why.
It's kind of wild that this is happening in the middle of wedding season, but
it is. But here's why I think it's exciting in the middle of wedding season.
Yeah, it breaks up the monotony a little bit.
We're in the middle of wedding season. We're not burning out on wedding season because we have this to look forward to. Also, there's kind of like that balance, which kind of goes into exactly what I just said, but also like we need to figure everything out during this time so that when in the winter time comes, we already kind of have the right foot forward, or we're already kind of ahead of the game. And we're not doing this during slow season in general.
Right. When it's impossible to get anyone to do anything.
Like we're building everything out now when it's busy so that by the time it's winter, we're not building anything out and people could come in because one of the things I'm really happy we have is air conditioning and heating.
Dude, it is so nice to come in here and not sweat.
Like how hot do you think it was today outside?
Oh, it was, the high today was 87 degrees.
That's pretty hot.
It
could be hotter, but in here it was like, what, 70, maybe a little less than that?
It stays a cool 69.
69. I like that number.
That's a good number. It's very nice.
Yeah. And so also, we don't have any blackout curtains.
We're going to.
The fact that it stayed that temperature in here without blackout curtains and the sun is beaming right through.
Yeah, it did get a little bit when we were setting up for the podcast today. So here's a little bit of a thing. The afternoon light in this room. So the windows in this room are west facing. There is a building directly across the street, and so we don't get direct west light in here, but we do get it over the building that's across the street, right? And so while we were setting this up, the sun was setting, and we were getting direct light on us while we were setting this stuff up, and it got a little warm in here. It wasn't uncomfortable. I think the fact that we were like moving stuff and like really kind of being active was
broke a sweat.
We broke a sweat a little bit, but that being said, like I have now been here. We have both, for the most part, been here kind of every quadrant of the day, right? Like I got here today at 8:45 this morning. We've both been here kind of noonish. We've both been here in the mid-afternoon, and we've both been here at night.
Yeah.
If there is light outside, the light in this room is fire.
It is.
Period. Like, I just can't wait for people to come in and experience that.
Yeah.
Because I have worked in some natural light studios that are just like you get light in there all day, but you only really get that like really good light when it's like direct sunlight.
Yeah.
The building across the street from us is white. And so in the morning, when the sun hits that building, it literally reflects into our windows and lights this entire room up.
And it creates a natural softbox.
It's incredible.
It's very flattering.
I love this place.
So one of the things about this place is like, yes, it's natural light.
Yes.
But if you don't need the natural light, we will have a way to make it a non-natural light studio.
We can make it a controlled light studio.
You can make it a controlled light studio.
Yeah.
And
there's one factor that we need to problem solve for.
We're getting there.
But we will get there.
But I feel like it's a very minimal
It's small. It's very
problem.
Small. Yeah.
Or hurdle.
It's like, it's small, but it's technical.
It depends. Yeah.
Right. It's small, but it's a little bit more complex than just throwing up some blackout curtains and calling it good, right?
Yeah.
So, but we'll figure that out. And because ideally what we want to be able to do is full natural light or full controlled light, whatever you want. We want to be able to provide that to our clients.
Or a mix of the two.
Which
is really nice. Yeah, exactly. Right. But anyways, I'm really excited. And I just want to say, like, for any person, any creative out there in the future that is going to rent this studio and create here, like, thank you for coming in here. And our vision is to create that community for others to create as
Absolutely. Well. And if you are interested in what we're doing and you want more information, you want to be involved, you want to bounce ideas off of us, you want to contribute in some way, DM us on Instagram, send us an email to newwavemediallc@gmail.com. Get a hold of us. We would love your input. We still have a survey that we can send you if you would like to contribute to that survey. It has a lot of questions about how we can best serve our clientele. But we are 100. This place for us is all about community. This place for us is all about learning and teaching everybody that we can. And so any amount of community involvement that we can foster, we want that. So feel free to reach out. Don't be shy.
I also want to state that, like, we are doing our very best to put everybody's survey questions and opinions and everything into this studio. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
We may not come out with everything where it needs to be based on that survey, but we sure are working towards that, because when you're opening up a space, you can't just like 100% just lift and you're there.
You can't appease everyone right away.
But I just want everybody to know, like, that is in the works. Yeah. As the studio is up and running, like, we will eventually get more of this or less of this, or we can do this now here or create this way.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I want to say we are trying our best to satisfy everybody as we open, but it will only get better.
Yeah, we want it to be as all-encompassing as possible. Mm-hmm. And we only want to build on that as we move forward.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of it, man. Like, I think I don't want to give too much information.
We can say without spoiling things.
Yeah.
So I will say the New Wave Media website is in the works. It will be an all-encompassing website, all for the studio. It'll be for New Wave Media Podcast. It'll be for the things that George and I are working on together, because anything that we do together is New Wave Media. There's a lot of other projects we have in the works that are coming together that are going to be part of that website. So as I ask you every time, where can the people find you? This is one of the last times I'm going to ask you that question where we're not both just saying the New Wave Media website. So, George Padilla, where can the people find you?
So the people can find me at georgepadillaphotography.com/links. And anything and everything is on there. And of course, hopefully by the next time we roll around this, it's no longer just my link or your link. Now it's the New Wave Media link.
It will be the New Wave Media.
It'll be the New Wave Media link for New Wave Studio.
And all other things New Wave.
As they come.
Yes. So
where can the people find you, Elijah?
Go there to find anything about New Wave at this point, including our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those things. If you want to find me and my personal work, go to oliveimages.com/oliveimages.com. That's it. No slash. Same with George Padilla. If you want to see his wedding work, his portfolio, it's incredible stuff. It's georgepadilla.com/
actually, it's georgepadillaphotography.com.
Wrong. Yes, correct. georgepadillphotography.com, oliveimages.com. We will be back super soon with more updates, more content, more information. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. We can't wait to bring more to you.
Thank you for supporting anything and everything. I appreciate all of you.
Anything and everything in general.
So, thank you so much.
All right. We love you guys. Peace.
Deuces. Is that not the right way?
Deuces.